Hello, fellow gamers. Bubba coming back at you. So we're taking another look at the Terraformental, and I did go ahead and get back to the Lorien station, as you can see. So we now know one of the things we might want to do is unload. That'll get us out, and then we can get the fuel as well. So let's get that going, and then we're going to have to get water and stuff. We've only got about 2 minutes for that, and I'm not going to worry about refilling the air in this right now. We may need these refills for our air tanks. So here we are. Resources. Let's go ahead and take the water. We'll take the food. And then we're going to take the fuel capsules. Then we're going to move the generator into Lorien. I don't want to do this yet because I'd rather not take the chance. I want to explore Lorien a little bit. Lorien, however we want to pronounce it. $28. I'm not going to worry too much about this right now because once we get in there and get the air recycling, we should be good. Wow, that does take a little while to do that, doesn't it? Well, we've only done one completion, and we were able to knock 10 seconds off of it for that. So we've already gone through almost half our air tanks. Wow. There we go. Okay. First thing we're going to run out of is water, but we've got a few minutes on it. So let's do install the generator. That way we can get air before this air runs out, which we should have plenty of time for that. In fact, we may keep using that and go ahead and install the water recycler. That way, when it comes on, we're already counting down for getting our water, because that's going to be huge, right? We can obviously take some water. Okay, we're definitely ahead of where we were last time, though. Okay, that's good. Now we will install this. That's going to take about 8 seconds. Not very long. Okay, then we're going to add one thing of fuel. That'll let this start charging. Shut off the emergency systems while this is charging. So that's a good use of time. Yep, 1.8 from the backup system. So, okay, there is that. Now, we've already added fuel. Where are we on this stuff? We probably want to go ahead and take the water, take some food. Okay, and that's it for right now, except we can take one more water, keep that full. Let's go ahead and finish this diary. That's the one that we've got the most progress on. That'll be good. I'm trying to remember about the mining wing. I think there's something in there that ends up being a benefit. I think, from remembering, there is another artifact that makes these things more valuable. Like they do more instead of just doing, like, let's say 2.5 water. It might do 3, something like that. I can't remember, but we're going to do that for sure. Okay. Shortly after the artifact was found, they were told to evacuate to Lorien Station, but not why. The next few pages describe the journey from Santorini to here in surprising levels of detail. You suppose there's not much else to do when you're stuck in a rover and aren't the driver. Following her route in reverse should get you part way to Santorini, but without more information on its actual location, it could be hard to find. The final entries seem to be very rushed. Her handwriting has become erratic, and while she mentions the power at the station slowly failing as they waited for someone to rescue them, she doesn't go into much detail. Okay, this is probably just going to talk about looking it up in the computer. Yes, the handwritten. Oh, here we go. The later entries vaguely describe their journey to Lorien, which included having to close a dam so that they could cross a river, but it didn't have enough detail for me to learn the facility's exact location. Maybe the Lorian's computers will have more info. Okay. One of the people who evacuated included having to close a dam. Yep, same kind of stuff. Santorini. Shortly after they were ordered to evacuate, where did everyone go? Shortly after finding another artifact, the personnel from another facility had apparently just arrived at Santorini when they were all ordered to evacuate to Lorien. Okay, so we need to search. It says, I know it's somewhere to the west across a river, but I'll need something more to go on after that. So, yeah, I'm surprised I didn't draw that yet. Okay, that's fine. So, I think we're going to force the door. I don't really want to do the hack right now. Let's do that. We can go ahead and get a water bottle. How much did that restore? 3. Okay, well, that's nice. All right. Forcing open the door. Starting to run lower on power, but we can go 7 minutes on that compared to 3 minutes on the water. Okay, I guess we'll search. And then we may go out and actually search the side around. Oh, get another water bottle. We're down to 7.8 seconds now on this. There we go. We got protein bars now, but not like that's going to matter. Okay, so we could search. That's going to take 1 minute. Ooh, what do I want to do? I'm half tempted to open the mining wing and try and do some of that, or to go outside. Let's exit and do that search real quick. Okay, inspect the towers. That's 30 seconds. 30 seconds we have. So let's do that. Okay, so let's see. Unsurprisingly, passing through the personnel lock takes mere moments when it's powered, and tapping a few controls is certainly a lot easier than cranking the manual controls. It's a shame you can't have it always be powered. Okay. Well, yeah, because it doesn't get power until we get here and hook something up to give it power. Okay, here we go. It seems they used this tower to coordinate the large number of vehicles bringing back water and other supplies for all the people living here. Their short-range communications equipment, several maps of the area, and detailed logs of movements of the vehicles. Seems like they kept pretty detailed maps of the detail. Maybe you could learn something. Whoever was keeping watch over the tower kept records of where each vehicle was going and what they were doing while they were living here. I say we do the study maps. That could help. Let's see. We still got 2.5 minutes. And got about 40 seconds for the study of maps. And then we'll probably re-enter so we can get some water, which, by the way, the nice thing is the water is cycling through, so we should be able to grab several bottles of it once we get back in. We're going to have to return to the rover at some point just to get air for us to be able to do other things. Okay. What we got here? Oh, 12 seconds. Hey, don't forget to leave comments on tips on this or other games, and what other games you want me to do. Also, things you want changed out. Okay, so sadly, the maps don't extend far enough to show you any new terraforming facilities. What they do show is an underground tunnel that was built between Lorien and Talos. Presumably because they worked so closely together, so they needed to have easy access to one another. You have to go a little out of the way to reach the entrance, which is why you've never seen it before. But once you're there, it'd be a much faster route. Oh, that would be nice. And I'm guessing that's going to be the same kind of thing. Yeah, tunnel. And here's about the tunnel. Okay. So we'll probably have to search around that area. Okay, so let's enter back in. We're out of air tanks too. Okay. Let's go ahead and fill a water bottle. And then we're going to take some water. We're going to take some food. And maybe we'll add fuel. to the generator and then try and open the mining wing and see what we got there. Maybe we can find something in there. I thought there was another artifact or something that really adds something to us, but we'll see. As the generator begins draining fuel from the capsule, the emergency lights throughout the facility flicker to life, and you hear the faint whirring of other systems starting up. Even with it only running the background systems, the fuel won't last long, so you'd better head upstairs and disable the unhelpful ones before they drain too much. I thought we already did that. We did. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, the door grinds open, but jams part way, causing the motors to strain and grind a complaint. Standard operation for these doors is to return to their previous state after a few seconds if they detect a jam. You have time to slip through before that happens, but there's no guarantee you'll be able to open it again from the other side, and you don't have anything strong enough to wedge it open. Oh, so I've got 10 seconds before it closes. Let's get another water, because that's what we're going to run out of first. And then we're going to enter the mining facility. If we can. Nope. So we have to open the mining wing again. Okay, that's fine. I definitely wanted to get the water, though, before we did anything. So, do that. Enter. There we go. Okay. Inspect exit controls. You hurry through the gap, feeling quite nervous despite having plenty of time. You might even have time to slip back through if you're quick about it. The other side seems to be a long, narrow corridor with a standard door at the opposite end and a small console next to each door, though the one at this end looks severely damaged. Well, let's inspect the controls. We only have to do it once, and it's 5 seconds. And we have 3 minutes. Okay. You try to access the door controls from this side, but find the damage is just as bad as you feared. It almost looks like someone took a sledgehammer to the console, shorting out several of the connections and likely causing a power surge, which caused the door to jam. In the first place, you can't repair the damage, but you might be able to build a manual bypass for the open signal with a power coupler. Oh, so we might have to get an extra power coupler somehow. Okay, so we can't do that without a power coupler. So the only thing we can do, if we don't exit, is enter the mining pit. So let's do that. We are now stuck. Okay, what do we got here? Wow. You walk the long corridor and through the door at the end, entering the mining pit itself. Except this doesn't seem like a normal mine. A large cylindrical room is built around a single opening in the floor. You'd expected to see an elevator shaft or an open quarry, but instead there's a single immense stone obelisk sitting in the middle of the opening. Huge drills and other mining equipment is spread out around the obelisk. Obelisk. I don't know why I'm saying obelisk. Obelisk. What looks like a pile of clothes lies at the base of the stone. A lone computer terminal sits in an alcove at the edge of the room. You should probably start with the computer while you still have power to run it. Okay, well, yeah, let's inspect the computer. That's like 20 seconds. We still got 3 minutes. Good. So we got enough time to do several of these. That's 10 seconds. That's 20 seconds. That's 10 seconds. Ooh, that's good. So we still have air. Don't have to worry about that. We still got power, although now it's draining, but we got 13 minutes. The main use of the terminal seems to have been for keeping detailed records of every shift worked by each person. All of them were working on mining the obelisk. Each one carefully measured the amount of material they mined and from where. There are some oddities, though. For starters, they seem to be mining far less than you'd expect, given how long the shifts were. Whatever this obelisk is made of, it must be incredibly strong. Secondly, it seems a lot of reports are contradictory. Multiple people reported mining in the same area on the obelisk and extracting a similar amount of material, yet the surface barely changed from one to the next. The only other file you can find is a video log. Maybe that'll give you some answers. Well, let's watch the video log while we still have power. And the nice thing is we're only having to do these once each. Okay. Almost done. Maybe we'll learn something from this. Got a lot of persistent ones in this one. Okay, the man who appears on the screen looks like one of the miners. He seems more than a little unhinged, raving about how they were trying to take him away from the obelisk and that it had so much to offer. Apparently, there's something in the center, but it was taking a long time to reach it because whenever they mined part of it out, it slowly regrew. That would explain the odd reports you found. When the evacuation was ordered, this man must have sealed himself in here to keep trying to reach it. You're starting to get a bad feeling about that pile of clothes near the obelisk. Okay, well, let's inspect the clothes for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds, Alex, I'll inspect the clothes. Right. As you approach the pile of clothes, your suspicions are confirmed. It's the body of the miner who recorded that video. He's been dead for a while, at least a couple of weeks by your guess. You're suddenly extra glad of your suit isolating you from the smell that has undoubtedly filled the room by now. Judging by the state of his body, you suspect he died of dehydration and starvation, yet it seems even as he was dying, he was clawing at the obelisk, hitting it, staining it with his blood. Obviously, he was mentally unstable, obsessed with reaching the center of the obelisk. But why? Okay, well, let's inspect the equipment. It's another 10 seconds. We're definitely eating up on our time, but not too bad. And we've definitely made good progress. Okay, there's a wide variety of mining equipment spread around the room, both powered and manual. The powered tools will obviously dig way faster than manual ones, but they'll also drain what little power you have very quickly. Then again, if the entire crew of the facility couldn't find whatever's hidden inside, do you really have much hope? Ooh, I might should have put the other fuel in. Okay, well, let's inspect the obelisk. We don't have anything else we can do. And hopefully it doesn't drain it faster than we would die from water anyway. Right. 4 seconds. There we go. As you get closer to the large block, you realize that it's not made of regular stone as you previously thought. It looks more like metal, not raw metal ore, like you'd normally expect in a mine, but pure solid metal. It must be a nightmare to try to drill through, which makes even more sense why they were having trouble reaching the center. Is it really possible for this type of material to regrow, though? Okay, so start digging is... Oh, wow. We can get a 3 times speed boost for 4 a second. Well, we don't have anything else to do anyway unless we just want to loop. So, and it's definitely going faster. But we only have like 25 seconds of power left. I definitely should have put the other power in there, but now we know for next time. And doing this will at least give me a foot up on doing it the next time. 10 seconds. But we did get halfway through. And then it's going to go real slow because we're out of power. But I have enough to get through. My guess is, though, this one's not persistent. So that means we'll have to dig through it again, but we should be able to do it faster. I wonder what's going to happen when we dig. I mean, it just says you can still hit it with a pickaxe. So I guess that's what we're doing right now is a pickaxe. And we only have about, what, 30 seconds after, a little over 30 seconds after this happens of water. That's all we got left. Food, we got about almost 3 minutes, but so it'd be water and then air we would run out of. Okay, as you drill into the obelisk, you're able to see it's made of layers. The outermost layer was quite easy to drill through, but now you seem to be hitting a second layer, which is much tougher. Most of the records you saw didn't go much deeper than this. Oh, and that's 4 minutes, and another 4 power per second. So we will definitely need to give it all the fuel before getting in here. But we've made a lot of progress, so we could immediately just start, and we wouldn't be wasting as much power. Might as well do this until we die, and then what I'll do is I'll time-lapse it until we get back here into the mine. All right, getting close. Here it goes. Bam. All right. Well, I will time-lapse and see you in a bit. All right, gamers, welcome back. Okay, so I've got us in here. I now know not to even do the water recycler from just coming in here because you don't even get a chance to get a bottle. We have over 3.5 minutes of water. I put all the fuel in here. So you can see the mobile generators all the way up to this. Okay, so here we go. From the report, you almost expect the obelisk to be a slightly different size since you're here at the different time in the loop. Something you certainly hadn't expected was for the hole you drilled last time to still be there. You think it may have shrunk slightly, but the vast majority of your progress has been maintained between the loops. Oh, that's good news. That all but confirms that whatever is in the center is somehow linked to the artifact you touched. Nice. Okay, well, let's dig. And we didn't have to do all the other stuff. So this is going to use exactly as much as the mobile generator is doing, and so the only discharge is from the air recycler. So that should last us, almost 11 minutes. That is perfect. But, ooh, oh no, it's going down faster. That's right. It's going down faster. I also made it so we can open this and it not pause. That way we can take up some of the time. So it doesn't reset to original state when I loop. This all improves. Okay, but I wonder whether I'm better off pushing through it all now or following other leads to try and find some better equipment that'll help me dig through it more efficiently. Nah, I think we're just going to go for it. Okay, not too long. May have been an underestimation, but I did find it. The paved, gently sloping road will let me get up to a much higher speed. Okay, yes, so I did do a search for the tunnel. It took about a minute. It took 1 minute exactly, actually. And it only uses 0.5 power per second compared on the rover compared to the 1 power per second that the regular route does. And it's quicker. So big benefit there. And you can even see I've got 260 over, well over half. Okay, it takes a lot of work, but you finally hit the third layer. None of the records went past this point. But you've still got a long way to go to reach the center. Okay, and this is going to 3 times boost. For long action, we get some dilation, so we don't have to wait so long. So, I mean, we don't have anything else to do anyway, so we might as well go to do it. Okay, good. It's going a little bit quicker in real time even, just so that we're not sitting here forever. Oh, generator's already out of power. Wow, that didn't last long, did it? Well, we'll go till we die, and then we'll just head back out. Well, let's see what it says in the PDA while we're waiting. I've made it through almost half of the obelisk's depth. It seems to be in layers, and each one is a lot harder to get through than the last. Oh, lovely. So we're only about half. Oh, the other thing that was in here from last time was... where is it? Here it is. Some of the latter entries, it seems that there's a dam spanning the river which automatically closes from time to time, allowing water to soak into surrounding land. While it's closed, the river below is shallow enough to drive across. So I guess we have to wait for a dam and everything else, or tell it to close or something in order to get across. Okay, well, this isn't going to go very well, is it? I think the dilation's kind of gone down. But I am hoping that coming in this next time, it'll be a lot quicker and we have more power because we're only doing it on the third layer. All right. Well, I will see you guys when I get back over there. All right, gamers, back here. So it doesn't look like we actually have to do the admin office door. I thought we did in order to shut off the backup systems or emergency power or whatever it is. So that was good to know. I know now not to do it next time. Didn't install the water recycler. We're going to add fuel because we obviously need to add all 3. And then we're going to grab all the water we can and go in. We've got 5 minutes. So let's open the wing. Oh, I can add more fuel. It must have gone down low enough I could add the other one. There we go. All the fuel is in there. That's all we can do. Okay, let's hop in and see if we can't get this finished. Oh, it'd be nice if we could finish. Okay, so we're going to dig through. It looks like we get maybe a boost. Oh, we can continue right where we were. That's awesome. You slip through the gap. Your fears of being crushed by the blast door are nothing but a distant memory. Okay. Well, we got over 4 minutes now of water, which is a huge increase. So let's get this done. Food, yeah, not too far behind the water, but I wasn't going to waste time grabbing protein bars and stuff if we know we're going to run out of water first anyway. Might as well get every little last second out of the water. And our power's slowly going down because it's using exactly how much the mobile generator's doing. Almost there. 10 seconds. Sweet. Oh gosh, 4th layer. This was not only the toughest layer so far, but also the thickest. You're well over halfway to the center now, but the next layer seems different. The drill is cutting through it faster, but the entire obelisk, goodness, seems to rapidly heat up as it does so. Your suit protects you from the worst of it, but you'll still be dehydrating pretty quickly. Oh, that's lovely. So it takes 3 power per second. Says, but it seems to be radiating huge amounts of heat, making you dehydrate very quickly. So that means our water is going to go down way fast, I bet. All right, well, let's get started. Ooh! Way fast is an understatement. Okay, well, let's look at the PDA and see what we got here. Made it through half. It seems to be what gives off waves of heat as I drill. It makes me have to burn through my water supplies way faster than normal just to avoid dehydration. Well, and there we go. Well, let's view the death state and see. Oh, yeah, we didn't get very far at all. Okay, well, I'll be going off again, and we'll be back when we get back here again. See you soon. Hey gamers, I brought you back a little earlier, so I wanted you to see how this does definitely combine. You can gather just supplies from the outside, which we've seen before, but now there's a whole new one. Get supplies and install the generator in Lorien. Well, I mean, because there's not much you're going to be able to do between those times, because you're not going to be grabbing anything other than what it's going to be grabbing anyway. So let's tell it to do that, and we get an actual bonus. As you can see there, for it being all the sub actions and that kind of stuff. So it's only going to take us 1:25 compared to over 2 minutes if we try to do them separately. So it definitely makes a big difference. So that's going to be a little over a minute. So I will be back as soon as I'm in the mining facility. All right, gamers. Cool. We are back in the mining facility now, and we're ready to continue on digging the 4th layer. And I have a little over 5 minutes of water, which once we start this, probably will end up being like 5 seconds, is what it seems like. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, 30 seconds compared to 5 minutes. So I have a feeling we're going to take several runs on this. So depending on how far we get on this, what I'll probably do is I'll time lapse it until I get to where I think we can finish it. And then come back. Yeah, it's going to take at least 2 more runs before then. So I will see you guys in a bit. All right, gamers. I think I finally got it now. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish getting into the mining wing. We're going to enter it. And we've now got just this little bit, and I'm pretty sure we can finish that. So let's get it done. 5 seconds. There we go. You must nearly be through to the center. There's probably only 1 layer left. Oh, geez, even another layer? The obelisk has stopped generating heat, thankfully, but it is releasing some kind of gas as you cut into it. You wonder what kind of effect it might have on your suit. Oh, well, that's just fantastic. But the gas it's releasing seems to be interfering with your suit's systems. Oh, geez, what the hell is that going to do? Okay, I guess we'll find out. What's the PDA say? What do we got here? All right, artifact. Okay, Thankfully, the last two have been a lot easier, but where the fourth one gave off waves of heat depleting my water, this fifth and hopefully final layer seems to release some kind of cosmic gas which messes with my suit's systems and reduces its efficiency. I've never gone through air tanks this fast before. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I didn't realize I was going to need that many air tanks. Well, we'll do what we can. I have a feeling. Well, no, we got 4 minutes of water, though. Ooh. This could be rough. But we're gaining enough that it's not going to deplete our power. So, excuse me. Okay, let's do it. What we got? Okay, air. Um, oh, Lauren mining wing. Okay, so it's going through that air, and then I guess I go through this air. Yep, there we go, and it's going pretty damn fast. Oh, we are definitely running out of air in like 12 seconds. That's even going through all the tanks. Okay, well, I will definitely time lapse it. It looks like we're going to have at least one more. So the second run through here, we should be good. So I will see you guys in a bit. All right, gamers. So I think I've got it to where we're going to finish this up, and let's see what happens. Dum da dum dum dum. Here we go. All right, at last, your drill suddenly breaks through the final chunk of obelisk, revealing a small hollowed out area in the center. Resting in the middle of the space is an artifact, similar to the one you found in the rover. Where the previous one was swirling with an infinitely complex dance, this one seems almost simple. The tiny cubes which comprise it are forever spilling out from the center, flowing out and around its surface. Oddly, you can't actually seem to see anywhere that they return inwards to the center of the artifact. Maybe if you get a little closer. Well, I mean, we've gone this far, we might as well touch it. Let's go for it. What we got for resources? About 5 minutes. We're good. Ooh, there we go. You're somewhat less surprised this time when the artifact responds to your touch by latching onto your arm and pulling itself towards you. However, where the previous artifact simply flowed into your body and through your hand, this one seems to continue crawling up your arm before reaching down into the nano storage device on your belt. Moments later, the last traces of the artifact are gone, along with the strange compulsive effect they seem to have had on you. Checking your storage device, you're confused to see that it seems to have somehow increased the mass of all resource items you're carrying. From now on, all resource items will restore 25% more resource when consumed. Ooh, that's a nice benefit. All right. Well, we are obviously going to have to loop because of everything, but let's see what this says in the notes. Where is it? Here we go. I found another artifact by digging into the center of the obelisk in the mining. Okay, matter artifact. Aha! I finally reached the center of the obelisk, and I was right. It did hold another artifact. It looked slightly different than the first. I still felt compelled to touch it, though this time it was absorbed in my nano storage device instead of my own body. It seems to have somehow altered it to increase the mass of all resource items stored within it by 25%. That'll certainly help me survive longer. I wonder, now that I've removed the artifact, what will happen to the obelisk? If the artifact was preventing it from resetting when I looped, will the obelisk now be whole again, or was the obelisk itself simply immune to the loop for some reason? Ha! Okay, well, we're going to loop now, and I'm going to call this episode. And we will start again when we get back over to the Lorian. And I think there's a study the vehicles outside that we can do and such. So we'll do that. So I will see you guys on the next episode. Bubba out.